I won the lottery and told nobody. My family just found out after 3 years. My name is Marcus, and I'm 35 years old. 3 years ago, I won $8.2 million in the lottery. I told absolutely no one. Not my parents, not my siblings, not my friends. I collected my winnings anonymously through a trust, hired a financial advisor, invested smartly, and continued living my normal fourth quiet life. Until last week, when my family found out. And now everything has exploded in ways I knew it would, which is exactly why I kept it secret in the first place. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me start from the beginning. The win. 3 years ago. I've always bought one lottery ticket a week. Just one. Every Friday after work, I'd stop at the same gas station, buy a ticket, and forget about it until the next week. It was a $2 habit, nothing more. 3 years ago, on a random Wednesday night, I was eating leftover Chinese food and half watching TV when I saw the numbers. I looked at my ticket, then I looked again, then I checked online, then I checked 3 more times. I had all 6 numbers. The jackpot was $8.2 million after taxes. Not quit your job and buy an island money, but definitely your life just changed forever money. I sat there for probably an hour just staring at the ticket. My hands were shaking. My heart was racing. This was real. This was actually happening. And my very first thought, I'm not proud of this, but it's the truth, was I can't tell my family. Why? I kept it secret. Let me tell you about my family. I'm the youngest of 4 kids. My siblings are Laura, 43, Derek, 40, and Nicole, 38. Growing up, I was always the afterthought, the accident baby, the one my parents had when they thought they were done. My siblings got college funds. I got, we can't afford it anymore, take out loans. My siblings got help with down payments on their houses. I got, you're young, you'll figure it out. When my siblings needed money, it was a family emergency and everyone pitched in. When I needed help after my car got totaled, I got lectures about living within my means. The pattern was clear. I was expected to give, but never to receive. My sister Laura is a marketing director, makes good money, but she's terrible with it, always has been. Designer clothes, expensive trips, a house she can't really afford. She's constantly a little short and borrowing from mom and dad. My brother Derek is a classic middle child who never really launched. He's had a dozen different business ideas that have all failed. Each one required family investment. None of it was ever paid back. Nicole is probably the most stable, but she married a guy who thinks he's God's gift to entrepreneurship. They're always one big deal, away from being millionaires. Spoiler, the big deal never happens. They have 3 kids and are drowning in debt they pretend doesn't exist. And then there's me. I've got a decent job as an IT manager. I make $85 a year. I live in a modest apartment. I drive a 2015 Honda Civic. I'm single, no kids, and I mind my own business. To my family, I'm the one who has it easy because I don't have a spouse or kids. Never mind that I worked 2 jobs through college to pay off my loans. Never mind that I've never asked them for a dime. So when I won that lottery, I knew exactly what would happen if I told them. They'd all have their hands out. They'd all have reasons why they deserved a piece of it. And they'd never forgive me if I said no. I decided right then, nobody could know. The first year, setting everything up, I did my research. I knew lottery winners who go public often end up broke, harassed, or worse. I found a lawyer who specialized in trusts and asset protection. We set up an LLC to claim the ticket. My name never appeared on anything public. The lawyer collected the check. Everything went into a trust with me as the sole beneficiary. I paid off my student loans, all $47,000 of them. That felt amazing, like a weight I'd been carrying for 12 years just vanished. I paid off my car, put a solid down payment on a nice condo, but not too nice, 2 bedrooms, decent neighborhood, nothing flashy. I paid cash for the remaining balance, so I had no mortgage. I maxed out my retirement accounts, set up investment portfolios, kept 500 cal liquid for emergencies, put the rest in diversified investments. And I kept going to work, kept driving my same car, kept living my normal life. My family noticed I seemed less stressed, and I told them I'd gotten a raise and paid off some debt. They said that's nice, and immediately started talking about their own problems again. At Thanksgiving that year, Laura was complaining about her credit card debt, 30 cal apparently. Mom looked at me and said, "Marcus, you're good with computers and numbers. Maybe you could help your sister set up a budget. I helped her set up a spreadsheet. She never used it. Derek was there with his newest business idea, some cryptocurrency thing that required $10 to get in on the ground floor. He asked if I wanted to invest. I said no. He called me risk-averse and lacking vision. That 10K scheme collapsed 3 months later. He lost everything he put in, never mentioned it again. Year 2. The requests start. Even though they didn't know about the lottery, my family somehow got it in their heads that I was doing really well, financially. Maybe it was because I stopped complaining about money. Maybe it was because I seemed more relaxed. Whatever it was, the requests started coming. Laura needed to borrow $2,000 to cover Christmas gifts. I'll pay you back in January, I promise. January came and went. When I asked about it, she got offended. I'm your sister. Are you really going to hound me over money? I never saw that $2,000. Derek's wife left him. He needed $5,000 to cover his half of the rent until he found a roommate. Family helps family, right? I gave it to him. Told him to pay me back when he could. He never did. When I brought it up months later, he said, I thought that was a gift. You make good money. I didn't think you'd miss it. Nicole's husband's business failed. Shocking. They were facing foreclosure. Could I help with 3 months of mortgage payments? Just $6,500. They'd pay me back as soon as they got back on their feet. I said I didn't have it. Nicole cried. Mom called me and said I was being selfish. They have children, Marcus, your nieces and nephews. I felt guilty for weeks, but I held firm. They figured it out. Nicole got a job, they downsized, they survived. But the guilt trip worked. At Christmas, Mom made a point of talking about how some people have more than they need while others struggle. She wasn't subtle about looking at me when she said it. I was the selfish one, the single guy with no responsibilities who wouldn't help his family. Year 3, the childhood home. In March of this year, I found out my childhood home was going into foreclosure. Not my parents' current house. They sold the house we grew up in when I was 18. But a nice family had bought it, and apparently they'd fallen on hard times. The husband lost his job, medical bills piled up, and the bank was foreclosing. I drove by one day and saw the foreclosure sign. I don't know why it hit me so hard. That house has so many memories, not all good, honestly, but it was where I grew up. Where I learned to ride a bike in the driveway. Where I had my first kiss on the front porch. I contacted the bank. The family owed $180,000 on the mortgage. The house was worth maybe $240,000. I made a decision. I bought the house outright through my LLC. Paid $190,000, enough to cover the mortgage and give the family a little cushion to start over. But here's the thing. I didn't buy it for my family. I didn't buy it to move into myself. I bought it to rent it out to a family who needed it. A nice couple with 2 kids who'd been looking for a stable place after being evicted from their previous rental through no fault of their own. Building was condemned. I offered them below market rent. Good people, stable jobs, just needed a break. I thought I'd done something good, a way to use my money that mattered. I didn't think anyone would find out it was me. The discovery. My sister Laura found out 3 weeks ago. She's friends with a woman who works at the title company. This friend mentioned in passing that she'd processed a sale for our old childhood home. Laura got curious, nostalgic maybe, and asked who bought it. Her friend, violating about a dozen privacy laws, told her it was purchased by an LLC. Laura asked the name. The friend told her, and Laura, being Laura, Googled it, did some digging, found out the LLC was registered to a trust, did more digging, and I don't know how. Maybe she paid for one of those background check sites, but she connected the dots. She called me on a Tuesday night. I was making dinner. Did you buy the house on Maple Street? She asked. No hello. No how are you? I froze. What? Our old house. Did you buy it? I thought about lying, but I was tired of lying, tired of hiding. Yeah, I said, I did. Silence. Then, how? How what? How did you afford that? That house is worth like $200,000. You're always saying you're broke. I never said I was broke. I said I couldn't lend money I didn't have. Marcus, her voice changed, got harder. How did you buy that house? I could have lied then, should have maybe, but something in me just snapped. I won the lottery, I said, 3 years ago. I didn't tell anyone. The silence was deafening. You what? I won the lottery, $8.2 million 3 years ago. You, she was sputtering, actually sputtering. You've had millions of dollars for 3 years and you didn't tell us? That's right. I asked you for $2,000 for Christmas. Derek needed help with rent. Nicole almost lost her house. And none of that was my responsibility, I said calmly. We're your family. Exactly, my family. The family that spent my entire life treating me like an ATM when it's convenient and an afterthought when it's not. I can't believe this. She was crying now. I can't believe you'd do this to us. I didn't do anything to you, Laura. I won money. It's mine. I don't owe it to anyone. Mom and Dad are going to be devastated. Then don't tell them. But of course, she told them. She told everyone. The fallout, week 1. My phone exploded. Calls, texts, voicemails, all of them saying basically the same thing. How could you? How could you keep this from us? How could you let us struggle when you had millions? Mom left a voicemail in tears. I don't understand. We raised you better than this. We raised you to care about family. Dad's message was shorter. Call me, now. Derek sent a text. I knew you were a selfish prick, but this is a new low. Nicole didn't reach out at first. That almost hurt more than the others. I didn't respond to any of them. What was there to say? 3 days later, they all showed up at my condo. All of them. Mom, Dad, Laura, Derek, Nicole, and Nicole's husband, Brad. They pounded on the door. I looked through the peephole and saw them standing there, looking like an angry mob. I didn't open the door. Marcus, Mom shouted, open this door right now. We know you're in there. Laura added, your car is here. I sat on my couch and put in earbuds, waited them out. They stayed for almost an hour. My neighbors definitely heard everything. They left notes under my door. Laura said, you're not the person I thought you were. Derek said, enjoy your money, asshole. Hope it keeps you warm at night. Mom said, please talk to us. We love you. We just want to understand. Week 2, the demands. The guilt trip phase ended. The demands phase began. Laura sent me a detailed breakdown of her debts. $30 in credit cards, $15 in a personal loan, $8 she owed Mom and Dad. You could clear all of this and not even notice the money gone, she wrote. I'm your sister. Please help me. Derek sent me a business proposal, another one, some app idea that needed $50 in startup capital. This is it, Marcus. This is the one that's going to make it. I just need someone to believe in me. Be that person. Nicole was the most straightforward. She sent a text. Our kids' college funds are empty. You could change their lives. You could give them the opportunities we didn't have. Don't you care about your nieces and nephews? Mom and Dad asked me to come to dinner, just to talk. No pressure. I went. I don't know why. Maybe I thought I owed them that much. The family dinner, it was ambush, of course. Everyone was there. Laura, Derek, Nicole, Brad, even my Aunt Karen, who I barely know. Mom made pot roast, my favorite. The irony wasn't lost on me. We sat down. Everyone was being weirdly nice, complimenting the condo I'd brought wine from, asking about work. Then Dad cleared his throat. Marcus, we want to talk about this lottery situation. I figured. We're not here to judge you, Mom said quickly. We just want to understand. Understand what? Why you didn't tell us, Laura said. Why you've been sitting on millions while we've been struggling. I didn't tell you because I knew this would happen, I said. This right here, everyone acting like my money is their money. It's not about that, Derek said. It's about family taking care of family. Like how the family took care of me? I asked. Where was the family when I was working 2 jobs to pay for college? Where was the family when I needed help with my car? Where was the family every time I asked for anything? That was different, Mom said. We didn't have it to give. But I'm supposed to give when I have it? That's the rule? You have $8 million, Laura shouted. We're not asking for all of it. We're asking for help. Help I've given before and never been paid back for. That shut her up. What's that supposed to mean? Derek asked. It means I've loaned you money, Derek, multiple times, thousands of dollars. I've never seen a penny of it returned. Those were gifts, he said defensively. They were loans that you never paid back, just like Laura's $2,000 for Christmas. Just like the $6,500 Nicole asked for. I offered to pay you back, Nicole said. When? You've never mentioned it once. We've been busy. For 2 years? The table went quiet. This is what I'm talking about, I said. You all think I owe you something. You think because we're related, I'm supposed to fund your lives. But it only goes one direction. You take and take, and I'm supposed to just give. That's not fair, Mom said quietly. Isn't it? When have any of you helped me? When have any of you offered me anything without expecting something in return? No one answered. I won the lottery, I continued. It's my money. I don't owe it to anyone. And the fact that you all think you're entitled to it is exactly why I didn't tell you. So that's it? Laura asked. You're just going to keep it all for yourself? I'm going to do what I want with it, which includes helping people who actually need it, people who didn't treat me like garbage my whole life. We never treated you like garbage. Mom looked genuinely hurt. You treated me like an afterthought, I said quietly. You paid for Laura's college, Derek's college, Nicole's college. I got loans. You helped all of them buy houses. I got, you'll figure it out. You bail them out constantly, but when I needed help, I got lectures about responsibility. We didn't have the money by the time you came around, Dad said. But you had it for Derek's 5 failed businesses. You had it for Laura's credit card debt. You've never said no to them. You've only ever said no to me. The silence was heavy. I'm not giving any of you money, I said, standing up. Not because I don't care about you, but because giving you money won't fix anything. It'll just enable the same patterns that got you here. You're being cruel, Nicole said. I'm being honest, maybe for the first time. I left. Drove home. Blocked all their numbers. Week 3. The extended family gets involved. Word spread through the family like wildfire. Suddenly, I was getting calls from aunts, uncles, cousins I hadn't spoken to in years. Most of them were fishing. Hey, I heard you came into some money. Good for you. Some were more direct. Uncle Ray asked for $20 to fix his roof. Cousin Beth asked if I'd be willing to invest in her friend's restaurant. Aunt Karen, the one who'd been at the dinner, left a voicemail saying I was selfish and cold-hearted and that I'd forgotten where I came from. Where I came from? I came from a family that treated me like a second-class member and now wanted to treat me like a bank. My phone rang constantly. I changed my number. They started messaging me on Facebook, Instagram, even LinkedIn. I deleted all my social media accounts. Someone, I suspect Derek, leaked my new address to the whole family. I started getting letters. Most were guilt trips. Some were straight-up demands. One from a cousin I barely knew asked for $100K to pay off her mortgage. The entitlement was staggering. Month 2, Laura's campaign. Laura launched a full-scale campaign to turn the family against me. She started a family group chat that I wasn't in, but my cousin Amy sent me screenshots. She was painting me as this cold, heartless person who abandoned his family. He bought our childhood home, but won't help his own sister pay off her debt. He has $8 million and watched Derek struggle through a divorce. He let Nicole almost lose her house when he could have helped with one phone call. She conveniently left out all the context. The loans never repaid, the constant taking, the lifetime of being treated as lesser. Some family members bought it. Aunt Karen posted on Facebook about people who forget their roots when they get money. Didn't name me, but everyone knew. Others were more skeptical. Cousin Amy texted me, "There's 2 sides to every story. What's yours?" I told her everything. She was one of the few who got it. "They've always treated you differently," she said. "I've noticed. I'm sorry." That meant more than she knew. The lawsuit threat. 2 months after they found out, I got a letter from a lawyer. Laura, Derek, and Nicole were threatening to sue me. The grounds? Oral contract for loans I'd promised to give them. Promissory estoppel. A bunch of legal words that basically meant they were trying to argue I'd promised them money. I called my lawyer. We had a good laugh. "They have no case," he said. "You never promised them anything from lottery winnings they didn't even know about." So I don't need to worry? Not even a little. This is a Hail Mary. They're desperate. He sent them a cease and desist letter. The lawsuit threat disappeared, but the damage was done. They'd actually tried to sue me, their own brother. That's when I knew there was no coming back from this. The one who reached out. 3 months after everything exploded, Nicole called from a new number. I almost didn't answer, but something made me pick up. "Marcus?" Her voice was small, tired. "Yeah. I'm not calling to ask for money." "Okay, I'm calling to apologize." I didn't say anything. "You were right," she said, "about all of it. We've treated you differently. We've taken advantage, and when you finally had something for yourself, we tried to take that too. Yeah, I've been thinking a lot about what you said, about how we never helped you. And you're right. We didn't. We just assumed you were fine because you never complained. I shouldn't have had to complain to be treated like family. I know. She was crying. I know, and I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I felt my own eyes getting wet. I don't expect you to forgive me, she continued. I don't expect anything. I just wanted you to know that I see it now. I see what we did, and I'm ashamed. Thank you, I managed to say. Are you okay? She asked. I'm getting there. I hope you are. I hope you're happy. You deserve to be happy. We talked for a while after that. Really talked. She told me about her life, her struggles, but never once asked for help. She told me about her kids, about going back to school, about finally standing up to Brad about his failed business dreams. He's getting a real job, she said. We're getting counseling. We're actually dealing with our problems instead of expecting someone else to fix them. That's good, Nicole. Really good. Can I? She hesitated. Can I call you sometimes, just to talk? No money, no drama? Just siblings? Yeah, I said. I'd like that. She's the only one I still talk to. It's heck where I am now. It's been almost 6 months since my family found out about the lottery. I don't talk to my parents. They've tried reaching out a few times, mostly through Nicole, but I'm not ready. Maybe I never will be. Laura and Derek have gone completely silent. I think they've finally realized they're not getting anything from me. The extended family has mostly moved on to the next drama, though I'm sure I'm still the villain in some circles. I'm okay with that. My life is peaceful now. I still work, I like my job, and the structure is good for me. I've started traveling, went to Japan last month. Iceland is next. I've been dating someone. Her name is Sophia. She's a social worker. I told her about the lottery on our third date because I wanted to be upfront. She didn't care. Actually laughed and said, "Good for you for keeping it quiet." She's the first person who's treated the money like it's exactly what it is, mine. I've been donating a lot, anonymously. Children's hospitals, scholarship funds, local food banks. I set up a trust fund for Nicole's kids' education. She doesn't know it's from me. The family who's renting my childhood home is thriving. Their daughter just got accepted to her dream college. They send me Christmas cards. That feels better than any amount of money I could have given my siblings. What I've learned, money really does show you who people are. When I had nothing, my family didn't care about helping me. When I had everything, they cared about nothing but taking from me. That's not love. That's not family. That's just greed with a familiar face. I also learned that protecting yourself isn't selfish. Setting boundaries isn't cruel. Saying no when people have only ever taken from you isn't wrong. For 35 years, I bent over backward trying to be a good son, a good brother, trying to prove I was worth their attention, their help, their love. The lottery gave me the freedom to stop trying. And honestly, that's worth more than the money. To anyone reading this, if you win the lottery, don't tell anyone. Seriously. Hire a lawyer, set up a trust, claim it anonymously, and keep your mouth shut. But more importantly, if you have a family that treats you like you're only valuable for what you can give them, you don't owe them your windfall. You don't owe them anything. Blood doesn't entitle people to your resources, your peace, or your happiness. Take care of yourself first. Set boundaries. Say no. And if they call you selfish for it, maybe they're just upset that you're not easy to use anymore. Of course, here's the text exactly as you wrote it. Final thoughts. Sometimes I wonder what would have happened if I'd told them from the beginning. If I'd been honest about the lottery, would they have been happy for me? Would they have celebrated without immediately seeing dollar signs? I don't think so. And that's the saddest part. I won $8.2 million and lost my family. But the truth is, I don't think I ever really had them in the first place. Now I have peace. I have freedom. I have a life that's entirely my own. And I have a sister, one sister, who's actually trying to be better, who's actually trying to see me as a person instead of a resource. That's enough. The money didn't change me. It just revealed what was already there, or what wasn't. I'm Marcus. I'm 35. I won the lottery and didn't tell anyone. And I do it exactly the same way again. Update. A lot of people are asking if I regret buying the childhood home since that's how my family found out. Honestly, no, That house is being lived in by a family who deserves it. That feels right. I just wish my family had found out differently, or never at all. Update 2. Edit. To everyone asking about my relationship with Nicole, we talk every few weeks now. She's doing well. We're rebuilding slowly. I'm not ready to see her in person yet, but maybe someday. Baby steps. Update 3. Yes, I'm in therapy. Have been for 6 months. It's helping me work through a lifetime of being the forgotten kid. If you're in a similar situation, I highly recommend it. Sometimes you need someone objective to tell you that you're not crazy for protecting yourself.